Alright, trying this again. This is the second time I've recorded this video. I'm going to go over a route video. I guess I should say I'm making a route video. I'm going to try and talk about the nuances of each route that I run, some of the different exits and why I run those, some timings, and maybe along the way just some of my thoughts. Just in general. Alright, so the BE Stonehenge West, to me, one of the most powerful routes in the game, as I clunk. I think this is an easy route because it's just very straightforward, it's fast, and it's pretty hidden. I run it over this hill, some people run it behind it. I kind of walk off that little edge there and toe tap it, just to make sure I get my angle the way I want it. And then I bring it this way, all the way home. A little not of the smoothest exits there, but I think you kind of get the idea. Now let me go over there. I kind of want to talk about some of the nuances of the exit as I've learned them. And I also use this as my west starting area, essentially. So you kind of bring it through here, and you tap it up here, and then there's another touch point right here. And this is the last touch point before you take it all the way home to the base. One thing to be cognizant of is, I think right around here, there's God, the thing where you dead stop. Ski bug, right around here. So I try and go as high as I can, while cautiously, still actually hitting the return, to avoid that. And one other thing is if you kind of hit this wrong, if you hit this too hard, or you can even hit this too hard, it's really just going to kind of fuck up your momentum and your exit. So you kind of want to just hit it as smoothly as possible through, as I slide down, through this area here. And then I like to tap it here. I mean, sometimes you're improvising, you have to kind of do what you can if you get shot off, but if you're doing it good and you're out good, that's the way to go. Okay, since I spawned here, I'll quickly do the reverse. I also run the reverse if I get the Stonehenge spawn, if we're still routing, but if it's a situation where we're in a standoff, I won't run the reverse here. I try and hit this pillar here with my spam, and this will take you right home to the base. Not my best energy management there, to be honest, but you get the picture. I don't think the reverse is the best route, but I mean it's effective just from the spawn points you get. And look, I got the spawn right now. So first I'll kind of talk about what I do in a llama situation or standoff. Standoff, you can take it here. I also take this here on the DS Backcap as my return home, and then you can also go down here if you want. But essentially, if I'm spawning here and I'm still routing, I bring it this way. Again, try not to clunk, and then bringing it down here. And it's the same route from that point on. I mean, already my skiing hasn't been the smoothest, which isn't ideal. Just kind of a good opportunity for me to talk about your health as a resource. So it sounds, very obvious that your health is a resource, but if you think about it from a capitalist perspective, each 2 HP, every micro clunk is about 2 HP. Every bigger clunk is around 10. That's just more HP for you to have, maybe one more chain bullet to take to get you further home to the base. So it's very critical that you try and maintain your HP along your route. Now in some other tribes games, it's all about catching speed as fast as you can throughout the route. In Tribes 1, it's a little different where you can really like feather your jets on your way into some triangles and polygons, because there are specific triangles and polygons that will give you a lot more speed than you'd expect. So it's oftentimes more critical to hit those spots in the right way, even slowing up and like feathering jet as you fall down, to hit them perfectly so that you can catch as much speed as possible while also maintaining your health. So from this spawn point, I'll quickly show the back east. This route takes about 25 seconds to run. This is a lot about the element of surprise, I feel. It's a very fast return if you can get out cleanly. One aspect of that is, for me, is tucking behind this hill here to try and avoid, as much as I can, opportunity for the defense to spot me. There are several ways you can take this over here to get to the spot, but really you're just trying to get to this spot. It doesn't matter how fast or slow you are getting into this area, because it's all going to be this DJ right here that's going to give you the majority of your speed. And I kind of toe tapped that right there as well. Very good route. Not my route, Opseo's route. When he came back to the game, I don't know, about 1 to 2 years ago, he brought that back in, and now everybody's kind of running it because it's just so powerful. For me, the key to the exit is hitting this spot right here. I don't know if Opseo hits that, but I know Lost has he runs a side east over here, where he tries to hit this. Now, your momentum's taking you, like, to here, to this spot here, so you kind of have to, like, jet around it to get to this spot here, but as you saw, if you hit this perfectly, it takes you right in through there. One thing to be wary of is there is a spawn point here for defenders. Sometimes they K out, play the slot machine game, and spawn here, and they get mid-area, which has happened to me before, but that's just the way she goes sometimes. Okay, so for the most part, that's it. I'll show my east, and then I guess I'll show just the standard mat. So down there, you really, as I hit down there, you heard like the clunk sound, but I took no damage. I'm really getting off jet completely to hit that smoothly and slowly to maintain my health, and then kind of just ramping down here. So it's coming in around 70, and now it's kind of slowing down, but you get a lot of spam here. And you're taking it wide, avoiding, to me, which is very much a dead zone, which is the nat bowl area. That's pre-spammed a lot. I could have hit that better, which would have taken me right to the flag stand. So not my best running of that route, but essentially that's the route. I think you get the picture. I'll quickly go over there and show you the key points. Again, it's coming down here slowly, avoiding as much damage taken as possible, as I took 0 there. And some people take a route this way. I like the busy's version, which is through here. So it's really taking this, if you look at my grid terrain, following this lane straight through. And you really want to kind of come through here, right here, if at all possible. And that'll launch you straight to the base with even more speed than I had there. I was definitely slowing down as I was coming in to grab the flag. Okay, so real quick, the nat. I don't really run the others, like the East, that Kermit and Lost run, so I'm not going to show it, because I'm just not practiced or good at it. So, but there's this route here. In a match situation, I'd be spamming more nades, but yeah. And then this takes you straight out. It's like, this is one of the easiest routes in the game. I don't know if Kako's talking about the route I just ran, but yeah, I think I know it. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's more routes on this side, but they aren't ones that I run. I'm really just trying to stick to the routes that are in my arsenal, my repertoire.
No problem.
Okay, so Stonehenge, DS West. Actually, you know what? Let me do Llama real quick. I'm not going to get over there in like any like capping capacity. I'm just going to get to the stand and kind of show you some llamas. Now, There's cappers and there's routers. Routers are just someone that like route bot and aren't really great cappers. I think a capper is more of what the position requires, and a lot of times that requires like being crafty with your walks and your llamas. Just in general, Stonehenge I think is a poor static camping map, which I've learned over the years. I know that's something that Opso really believes, that this is more of a route camping map. And after like putting that more into practice, I think I tend to agree with him. Static camping here is generally poor. I very rarely do it because most Stonehenge has a lot of standoffs, and you know, your llamas are going to be more like in the moment. Oh, we lost the flag. Let's just walk it real quick. And if you're trying to route camp them, that's more of like a regrab scenario, which puts a lot of pressure on them, and it's really demoralizing to lose 2 caps back to back. And it sometimes gets to win the entire tide of the game, so I hope that makes sense. First I'll do the brickback, which is from Brickhead, aka Lost. It goes like this. I think I missed a little toe tap there, which kind of killed my speed a bit. But it essentially goes like this. That's how I run it anyway. I think he runs it the best, the fastest for sure. That's the nuts and bolts of it. And then I don't advocate for DJing off the base ever. If I'm going to walk it, again, I would also try and walk it maybe this way. This is one I think Kermit likes to do, because if you can get out, well, with a good DJ from there, it would take you straight home to the flag stand. Alright, so I'll quickly just start with the llamas. And notice I'm not showing any front routes, because for me, front routes are not very good as like your core route package. Front routes are more like emergency grab situations. So the straightforward one would just be to grab it, come down here, and just DJ it down mid. And by not DJing off the base, you're first of all like not doing something that's a lot more killable, because if you DJ off the base, you're a lot higher and floatier. It's easier to chain you out. That way you're lower to the ground. You're kind of tucked in. You're kind of coming in tucked in under the base, so it's harder for them to hit you from a lot of spawns. Also this little route here, which I'll redo, because yeah, that's actually more of a route, LO route that I kind of run to be somewhat of a grab threat, oftentimes pulling off on that route, but using it when necessary as a route. I kind of just learned when it makes sense. Okay, so Lost will often take it from here, for example, and bring it out this way. And then this is like the DS West return, which I'll be showing in a bit. A little high and floaty here, which isn't ideal, but I think you get the picture, just beaconing out here and bringing it home. I'll just DJ, since I kind of cucked that return, just to get it back to the flag stand. One thing I will advocate for as well on this map is always beaconing right when you're through the flag, because you can go so fast on this map, you can go through the flag. If you beacon, you'll eliminate a lot of situations where that would happen. Okay, so Big West, the other amazing route on this map. Notice how I came through that valley. If you're watching this on YouTube, like slow it down, and you can kind of see like the touch points to not take much damage there. And as you can see, I was really trying to feather jet, and a key nade right here that you want to learn how to hit. I think that was a little short. That nade there is really key though for clearing on that route. And I've kind of biffed that as well, but we're still home. So let me explain some key touch points on that route, from my perspective anyway, at least the way I run it. I'm always trying to start this here, through here, and then bringing it down through here. Oof. A little clunky, but watch the first version, slow it down, and you'll see what I mean. And then just not being too eager to like jet through this, but you know, lightly feathering as much as you can to slow down. Hitting this nade right on the stand there, and then you can bring it right through here. And then this return is just amazing. It's such a fun route to run. There's another return I do, which I'll just do here just to show it for the sake of showing it.
Going offense. I have the enemy flag. Heading back to our base.
Where I come up much higher on my exit. My jet was a little light to show this, but I come up here sometimes. Depending on like if I get knocked around, I can come up higher on that hill rather than low, like I was doing it the first 2 times. Hold on, gotta delete from a queue real quick because I'm about to leave. So yeah, you can take it up higher there as well. Okay, I'll show my east, which I credit a lot of this, like the original structure of this route, to Clown, because I think he was making a route video for somebody, and he was showcasing this route. And at the time, I think he said he didn't have an exit for it, so me and my boy Ringo sat in a server for a while trying to find an exit, and we found some stuff we liked. So this is my Adroit East. I have multiple exits, which I'll showcase here. So I'll show like what is kind of like the core exit here. I typically don't go down here because that's just nade central, and I come up higher on that exit. It slows you down a bit, but it's, to me, it's likelier that I'm gonna live. So I think it's a worthy trade-off. So that's one exit. I can also run this route from the Stonehenge spawn, which I'll show as well. I'll show my beacon exit now. Yeah, I hit this exit much better, so my return on that one I just did would have been cleaner. Coming down flat on this. Ooh, I missed it. That's embarrassing. I'm not going to do it again just for the sake of time, but don't really often miss that beacon. But you beacon right here, and it sends you all the way with the beacon across this hill straight to the flag stand, which is obviously pretty handy. Same thing. I'm not going to run it again because I've already run it twice, but you can come over that hill and you can take it down into the nap bowl back here and ski around in the back. So use cases for each one. I would say the first one I showed is my standard, what I run most of the time. The beacon one, if you think the defense has a really good angle on you, or yeah, I mean really that, you can do this beacon and you can just send them going past you because you're essentially juking them. And then I would say this back version here down to the nap bowl is more like if I'm buying time, like our flag's not home and I'm just trying to avoid taking damage. Let me quickly show you the version up here that spawns up here. So it spawns here, really trying to hit right here on that little point. And then from there, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, I think I hit it pretty good this time. And then, I guess since I did it again, I'll try the beacon again. There we go. That's kind of how that works. Okay, so that's all the versions of that, for the most part, that I think are like runnable consistently. There's another one like where you go a little bit more behind, you're a little bit longer, and if you hit it right, I actually have this on YouTube too, just that route, you can come all the way from the back there straight to the stand without dealing with any of this. I guess I'll do my Backcap real quick. It's a little clunky at the very end of it. I haven't quite worked out fully, like I haven't spent like a ton of time refining it, I'll be honest, but this takes about 35 seconds, Lotus has a version of this that is really clean. I don't know if he still has the clip of it, but it's a good, cool route that he ran once. Bringing it through here, and then I try and get up high on this hill so that I can jet up and come down on the flag. Now, the reason you want to... It's okay to be slow here. The reason you're coming down the flag is because you need to get off the base. That's probably the slowest I would ever run that route. Yeah, that was not clean at all. But, I mean, I still think a good majority of the time I would still cap that flag there. But rather than coming low like I did here, I try and get to this bowl here. If my jet management was a bit better. So you'd come down here, and then it would take you straight home to the flag. So same thing there. Now I'll quickly show... Oh, I already did llamas on this side. Okay, so that's Stonehenge done.
Going offense. Ah, crap.
I think I did everything there. Oh, I didn't show the back east. F. For me, I typically don't run the back east or the high west. High west I don't run very well, so that's why I avoid it. I could put more time into that to get better at that one for sure. Back east I've kind of dropped mostly from my kit because I typically run the side east. For me, I just like it better. I think I hit it consistently better, and I think it gets out more. Some people might say otherwise, but that's just the way I feel. Okay, so I'll start with the Clown East. I love to start it here, especially opening a game, but obviously from the front spawn, because you get the most speed using the base like I did there. So coming down here, and then this next touch here, you want to hit low. I try and get a nade on the stand and one in the base, and if I'm quick enough switching my weapons, a disc in there as well. And then I bring it this way. Sometimes I will DJ off that last touch point if I'm trying to get it home fast. But, yeah. Okay, so that's essentially the Clown East. I guess to finish the Easts, I'll show the back East real quick. It's a route I have, but not one that I run often. My main use case for this is if me and my cat partner are both going east and I'm ahead of him, I might take mine to the back, just so that we're not quite nuts to butts and we're a little bit desynced. So I can try and get a nade, mostly on the base. That's annoying. And then coming through here, I mean it's the same return, but some prick. Let's see. I'll show the baby east, which I don't recommend this being like a core route, but if you're an LO or you're just trying to get over to the base for, you know, standoff purposes, it can be good. So you just bring it like right through there, bounce over the flag, and you can even cut it down mid right here. But I'll just show this and mix it again. Who's the fucking dipshit? Is it? Oh God, Spud, you're such a dumbass. And then, you know, capping, obviously. Okay, so there's that. And now I'll show my wests. Really, it's only one west that I run these days. I bring mine up higher here. You can also go lower into that bowl there. And then my exit comes through high up here. Ooh, I clipped it a little bit. But a little bit higher up on that hill. With, in theory, a lot more speed through here. And then taking it to the stand. I'll run it one more time. Just because that wasn't pretty. So again, you can always use the base as a starting point to help really get you going with your jet. Help save jet. Obviously, you're going faster as well. There we go. Still didn't hit it the best, but once you get over here, you can kind of do whatever you want. But you do want like a consistent version if you can get one. But I'll just leave that route there for now. Let's see. Oh, I'll show the other clown exit. It's a little out of order now, since I already ran the clown route, but... I don't run it too often anymore, but I do think it's a good exit, especially if you're buying time. Like, you know you're not capping, most likely. Also, it can be just a better exit because it's cut off less easy. But it kind of comes back here. And you can even, like, I haven't done DS yet, you could turn this into the High West, but if you hit lower there, yeah. Not ideal, but I think you get the picture again. Gets the flag home. Okay, so there's that. Let me kind of talk about Llama Routes. I do like that beacon there, getting over to the base sometimes. So again, going back to capping and routing, a lot of capping is llamaing. Like, as a capper, if you're first in, a lot of times you need to pull off and help second clear. And especially on DX, you can, do some damage. The guy might be standing here, you can displace him, buy some time, kill him. Maybe they somehow got your guy, and now you can just drop in and do a little llama doozle. So this is one of my exits. It's kind of known at this point, but still catches some people off guard at times. Conversely, on Stonehenge, there is a little bit more static camping, because that's just the nature of the way the map is, constructed. It plays a little bit faster than Stonehenge too. I've essentially just done the Big West there for DS, but okay, so that's one. I think that's the most basic one. I won't do this one just for the sake of time, but I'll show the structure of it real quick with the laser rifle. Again, really trying to use this base here to use it to, like, pop you up with the flag. I don't know if you can tell, but if you're playing the game and feeling that, you'll notice that jetting up that flag stand there, that little flag stand, makes a difference. You could also walk out the door with this, but you would just take it down here and get home. A lot of times you can take a DJ here if you know it's safe, and you get home really fast, so you can go straight into the west door over there. But let's just say I did the same thing. I came up. I've also got one that I run a little less often that comes this way. If you're really trying to be tricky, I think I've actually already missed my main exit there, but that's fine. And now you've essentially run the BE, what I call the Shmedium East. Again, those are trickier. Really depends on timing. For most players, it's probably best to just grab the flag and get home. Okay, let me start with the Big West. Now, there's two versions of this. There's one that comes in high and straight to the flag, and the one that comes in a little bit more behind. The behind version, I assume it's Nova's, because I'm the only one. I've only ever really seen him run it. The main version comes in like this, though. You really want to hit that little polygon there at the end there to the left, because the right will send you into your imminent death. There's a lot of terrain over here you can use to get home. I'm partial to that one right there. A lot of time I'd actually also advocate for going up top and dropping in, because typically you do get spammed a lot on the door, especially if the team's spawning, you've caught them, and they're all just chasing you. They're most likely going to spam the door there. So getting used to coming in fast and being able to drop the flag down from the top can be very useful, or even just dropping down yourself. I will now quickly show the... Actually, I'll show... Nah. I'll keep one to myself. But... as I clunk there. I typically don't run this version because I don't think I run it particularly well. But it can be a little bit more hidden. But you kind of do like this little touch right here. Oh my god, bro. Fucking cute, man. But you get it. Same exit, so I don't need to run it again. So yeah, that little touch back there, it kind of sends you on a nice little trajectory where, like, instead of like, let me see if this makes sense from this angle. So the first one I showed you, you're kind of coming in at this angle, which means you kind of have to get back out that way to get home. The other one that Nova used to run comes in more at this angle. You're kind of exiting the direction you need to go, which, you know, can be useful in its own right, obviously. Okay. I will quickly now show the Big East. And as I'm doing that, I'll kind of talk about Diamond Sword in general. So Diamond Sword routes tend to be longer in nature than Blood Eagle. So if you're going to run these big power routes, first of all, you know, nail them. Try to get good at them, because clunking one of these is very detrimental, especially because you're usually grabbing second as a team on this side. And you just want to learn them really well to get fast in terms of your setup, so you can close some of the gap on how fast they're getting out. And this route's very fast home, and you can take the same exit. Or, so, I mean, really it's a start now that I showed you for the other route on the other side. And now you're home. Very fast route. Coming into the stand, like that very last touch, Opseo does a DJ version, which is even faster. You know, it's the trade-off of, do you want health or do you want speed? Most people, I think, these days advocate for health, but far be it for me to tell Opseo what to do. He's the king, so if he does it, I'm sure it has a good use for it. I'll show the Shmedium East I talked about. Not one of my core routes, but I do run it because it's one of the quicker, good routes. It's just not one of my favorites, I should say. And then you can kind of bring it home this way. Better exits for sure, but again, get the idea. So that's the Shmedium East. Back to my point about these long routes. So BE is always going to get out first, typically. Not always, but typically will get out first. So the good routes on DS are the power routes, but there's good routes on BE that are just normal routes. So typically, often, they can get out faster than you, and you can get D'd up on if you're not running really good power routes. And even if you are running really good power routes, you can still get D'd up on. So I think it's just something to be cognizant of, that if you're going to run these power routes, make sure you're good at them, and that you're running them well. And oops, I think I blocked Kako there. Make sure you're running them well, and that if you aren't running them well, consider llamaing more. Consider running shorter if you can. I'll show the Shmup East real quick. I don't think I run this route better than Humps or even like the Major or Kermit, but I do think it has some use cases. It's also good for getting over in a llama situation, or sorry, a crash situation. Not a crash situation, a standoff situation, where, you know, you're trying to get over fast. It gets over there pretty fast, and it has grab potential if you lose your flag. My exit is not ideal there either. If you want the good exits, I would say talk to Humps or Kerm, but that's some of the highlights of the route, or the lowlights. Gosh, what else is there on this side? There's a really bad spawn down here that I absolutely hate, and oftentimes I'll K out if I get it. But you can, you know, you kind of need routes from every spawn point, right? So you can do this. And I know Kerm runs a version of this. Typically you wouldn't have, oh my god. You wouldn't have that last touch point at the top there. You'd run it better. But as you can tell, I don't run it that often. So I'm not very well practiced at it. But I think you get the gist. I can try it again, just for the lulz. I just feel like when you get to this area, you don't have much jet. So that's why I don't love it, but I could also just not be very good at it. That's possible too. You can even take it back here, I guess. Might help consistency. Oh, crap. But it's definitely slower and easier for the LT to hit you back there. But that's kind of a trash can route, and I was kind of a trash can running it, so do what you will with it. And then there's the other, just, again, this is another good route for getting over to the base. And you can consider this a short route, I guess, but typically I feint a lot on this route. Like, I'll pretend like I'm shooting the guy there. Fuck me. Fuck me. I'll run it again. I'll feint like I'm trying to, like, I don't know, be like a second LO or even the LO and run it like that, like I did there, and then just carve into the base. Not miss the flag. And you could even do like some tricky stuff here. Like you can get creative with beacons and whatnot. But yeah, I think you get the picture. I'll be honest, I typically don't run short on this map because I am better at the power routes on this map. So that's probably why they're a little scuffed, which probably means I should run them more. This time I'm actually just getting over to the base to talk about the Llama Routes real quick before I end this vid. Or maybe I just grab it. Okay, we'll grab it. Because we actually didn't hit it that bad for once. You can take it down here and see, like, pretty efficient at getting over to the base and pretty healthy with the health. So I think that's the benefit of some of these quicker routes. And even though they aren't like quite as fast or maybe like quote unquote good, you've got the benefit of flag pressure and getting over more often. So llamas, oof. You come up, obviously. Now, oftentimes you scale the base here is what most people do. Or you come out the door over here and you just DJ home or just walk it if you have to, but it can be hard to get home on some of these llamas. But if you're crafty enough to get it back here, main things you have to watch out for is this spawn here. There's a spawn back here too, but this is the one that tends to fuck me if they get lucky and get it. You know, you ski up. Sometimes they'll even just go straight up so they don't know what I'm doing yet. But I will oftentimes run it west here. And then you are zooming. So there's that, and you can take it up. I'll just do it one more time, just to kind of show like some of the other options you can take. There's obviously just flying up and going straight down mid. You can even come up and DJ off up here, which I've done in the past. If for some reason you just need to get the hell out of there. If I can, I like to bring it out back. So like, I'll bring it up high like this, and they're typically like they're like waiting for you right here to figure out what you're doing. And then sometimes you can come to the right. Yeah, so I think I didn't miss any major routes. I talked about the Big West. I don't love the Standard West, so I'm not going to show it, because I just don't think it's a great route. I think it's slow and easy to hit. There's the Quick East, but I don't love that route. Like, lots of people run it. I think it's because you get a lot of pressure, maybe? I just don't think it's very good. But it kind of comes like this. But yeah, I don't want to actually really say how to run that route because I don't run it, so I don't run it the best, obviously, when I'm just trying to do it off the cuff. But yeah, I think that covers most everything for both maps. And, you know, I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe.